one person to keep score. We like to play this game while having a video chat going.
Hi, it's Frank Sharp in sunny SoCal.
Maybe pick some fruit from her trees.
Oh, he picked some fruit, all right. Ew.
Oh, that's just disgusting.
I'm serious.
Day 74 of the national emergency. I miss you. Are you hanging in there? I'm hanging in there. It was a long weekend. When they say it was a long weekend, it was a long weekend. But it was peaceful. I missed the parades, and I missed the ability to get together with a group of people and honor the fallen for this country. And this weekend, I think the concept of honoring the fallen was very present everywhere in the country. It was a super busy weekend. It was Judge Sheila's birthday. We played some games. I saw Craig is bringing in a new beard. Craig, send me some pictures of that beard. Let's see if we can't work some kind of makeover show kind of a thing. We'll get Steven Dimmick, like he's, super high-end hair and makeup. Let's see what we can't get into here with that. And got a chance to talk to Barb Farley. That was awesome. Yo, hello, shalom, everyone. It was a super, super intense weekend. This is a photo, a few actually, Memorial Days ago, taken by none other than our very own engineer, Kathleen O'Connell. As I was talking about, this was in the Times. I don't know, did everyone see this in the Times? It's amazing. It's still up. You can go to nyt.com and give that a read. Some amazing people that have passed because of this disease. White House wanted to open all the churches. That was before the weekend, and then I don't know, did you guys get all this? This happened. The White House wants everyone to play Spin the Bottle. Now, I don't know if that's with a mask or without. All the best Spin the Bottle that I've ever played was without a mask. I guess everyone's going to have to make their own decision. Now, I got to say, some folks told me don't do this joke, but really, let's put in the comments right now. Was that a 0 or was that a 5? Come on, that was a 5. That joke is hilarious. Now, if we were going to have a president from television, why not have this guy? Why couldn't we have him? Or really, if we had to pick someone off of the TV scape, this is who I would pick. Judy for president. And then maybe Tom. I know, maybe he's not on television per se, but he's definitely a media mover. And then, you know what? What about this guy? As at least VP. I know Luke and I would we would go for him. You remember Luke. It's Luke's birthday tomorrow, 31 years young. I'm going to give him a call. We're going to talk. We're going to chat. We're finally going to have some time just to sit and chat. Me and Luke. You remember Luke from Swampy Meadows. He was on the show not too long ago. Happy birthday, my friend. What? No, hold on. Yeah? Oh. No, hold on. Yeah, I just have to. Sorry, 1 second. No, we have he's got someone to interview. All right. So we've been working on this news angle. I'm getting a message that we've got an interview with our man. And I think, yeah. Hey, we'll be coming to you live in 3, 2. We can hear you. Hold on, last second preparation. So do you have someone? We have a live interview guest. Yeah. Who? Parks Department. Yep. Just had to Clean it off. Yeah, she wanted to just make sure that we stayed safe. Yeah, so I'm coming to you live in 3, 2, 1. Reporting live from the park. We're speaking with Marie or Mary. It's very difficult. Mary Parks or Marie Parks is difficult to kind of hear. Person on the front line of the Parks Department. We're going to ask her a couple questions about the holiday weekend. There she is. So Mary, over here. Yeah. So there she is. So just wondering, do you think that the amount of people in the parks is higher or lower than what you would generally see? I'm asking her if there are more people or less people in the park today for the holiday. Yeah, she's saying, yeah, it's about the same, a little less. It's a beautiful day. I'm telling her that it's a beautiful day. It's a gorgeous day out here in the park. I'm asking her about what things they're doing differently now that there's a global pandemic for the park. So what kind of things are you guys doing differently now than you would generally? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's good what she's saying. Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear that? She's saying that they're cutting the lawn a lot more, and they're wiping things down, and they're really making it nice for the folks to come and visit the park. All right, Mary. Well, thank you. She was really wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. She's getting back. She's getting back to it. I guess we're gonna get back to it as well. That was Marie or Mary Parker with the New York City Parks and Rec Department. Now back to you. Wow. You know, I think you're going to agree with me when I say that was totally unexpected. But yeah, I guess you have to call that a step in the right direction. All right. Well, our newscasting aside, next up we've got Anna Frinzi. Now, Anna is going to share a bit about this giant thing, and I learned a lot about it today, the NYC COVID Care Network, which she's been volunteering for. And also, she's going to give us a few tips and tricks from a health coach perspective about how to keep ourselves in good condition through this pandemic. All right, here we go. Mashing the button, and there she is. Oops.
Hello.
There you are. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. And so, just real quick, where are we talking to you from?
I'm actually coming at you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the good old Midwest.
and then, how are things there?
They're not too bad. I mean, it's really not as bad as New York, I know. We have a little bit more space and a less condensed area, but, you know, we're still taking precautions and still being really careful here, too.
All right. So this NYC COVID Care Network, tell us a little bit about that and how did you get involved?
Yeah, no, it's really cool. So my current company is like a virtual health coaching company, and they're headquartered in New York, and they kind of sent out the message to any type of like healthcare professional, whether it's a therapist or me as a health coach. It can be like someone who's really good at like stress management, stress relief, like meditation, but all mostly geared towards therapists. And it's a volunteer network of those healthcare professionals. And then we're connecting ourselves to all the essential workers in like the New York City metro area. And then we can offer our support that way, whether you're in, New York, you can be, or you could be where I am. And then you provide that support to them, whether it's the mental, emotional, therapy or any kind of support that we can kind of provide all those essential workers.
And you've been connecting two larger groups. You've been connecting larger groups to the COVID Care Network, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I've kind of been working on like the outreach part of it. So I've been reaching out to like food banks, like local pantries, and then also like the healthcare workers, all those kind of people, any essential workers in the New York area, and people without health insurance. And then it's also available to families of New York essential workers too, that they can get this free support right now. And it's really cool. It just came up because of COVID, and it's growing, and they have like a large amount of volunteers, and they are just ready and willing to help people, and are still growing even as who knows when the pandemic is going to end. So they can keep helping people this whole time.
Yeah, and as you were telling me before, they have a lot of capacity, right? So so people should not think twice about just reaching out. We'll post the link on
absolutely.
the site. Yeah,
sign up on there.
Yeah, and then so when you're not volunteering, you're in kind of a self-help kind of practice.
Yeah, that's totally a buzzword and what a lot of people say, like that self-help, self-care. But health coaching is just generally trying to help your health goals, and a lot of it does start with weight loss, and that's like mainly what a lot of my clients will do. But now just kind of this strange times, a lot of it shifts to kind of just really focus on yourself, and you don't have to set these high, crazy goals. Just kind of get through each day. And try to take advantage of your time at home if you can. I know a lot of people's lives are shifting and they have kids at home, but maybe trying to cook at home, and adjusting to working at home and setting those like small goals. I mean, for some people, it might just be getting out of bed and changing out of your pajamas. It doesn't have to be a really high weight loss goal now. It's really, I mean, mental health is so important, as we all know during this time, to really take care of yourself and adjust to this new normal we're all experiencing.
And whatever, wherever you are in the wider circles of the shock of all of this, you would pretty much recommend that anyone should be reaching out and anyone should be thinking about their self-care, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have the means, not everyone does, but if you have the ability to reach out to your therapist, but even just your support system, like do those FaceTime calls, make sure you're reaching out to your family and friends, even if you haven't heard from them in a while, still reach out. And yeah, I mean, utilize, if you can, this support network too, but really just figuring out what works for you and who you can reach out to. Your support network is so important.
Right. All right, and we're going to put your contact information. If people have questions, like I think this thing has hit so quickly that some of us are just now even waking up to the concept of self-care, because we've been living our lives in a certain way for so long that now this disruption and thinking like, oh, what am I eating? What yoga am I doing? Maybe people need to reach out and just get some, self-care 101 ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a really good time to do it. And some of us do have the time and we're at home, that we can all try these new things, develop some new skills.
All right, Anna. Well, it's great to meet with you. Thank you for taking some time, with us, and please stay safe and be well.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right. We'll talk again soon.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. Yeah, it's big stuff. Self-care. All right, we're going to talk to Frank Sharp in just a bit, but first, don't go away. We will be right back. I can't believe I'm doing this, but this is really what I'm supposed to say. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor.
In these uncertain times, we're here for you, for all you do. We're all in this together.
You've got mirrors, you've got front door and back door that leads to interior, exterior,
back wiper. That'll wipe you. Hi, Mom. We accept PayPal.
PayPal.
0% financing available. We finance 0%.
Buy this minivan.
Hi everyone, today we're going to tell you about a fun little quiz game that you can run in a video chat. You can play this game with as many people as you want and designate one person to keep score. We like to play this game while having a video chat going. All you need is a pen and paper or a phone to write down your questions and answers. Each player will run their own little mini quiz of about 5 to 10 questions. When it's your turn to do your quiz, you'll read off the questions one by one, maybe repeating it once or twice. Everyone else will write down their answers. And then at the end of the round, you can check if you need any questions reread, and eventually go through the answers, and everyone will score their own answer sheet. Score the quizzes, you can go one by one through the questions. It can be fun to let people then shout out their answers. We usually do 1 point per question, but for some questions that may be, say, a list of items, you might want to give them a half point if they got most of it correct. You can create these quizzes in one of 2 ways. Method 1, you could create this quiz before the video chat starts, so you could give everyone a little homework to come prepared with. Or method 2 is a sort of rapid fire mode and can be a little more fun than having to do preparation. Once you're on the call, set up a 5-minute timer. Everyone has to come up with their quiz within that amount of time. Once the buzzer goes off, just go with what you got. It can be fun to give your quiz a topic or a theme, like numbers, movies, or that branch of the family that moved down to Florida. It's usually most fun to give your quiz mostly easy questions with maybe a few hard ones. The game can easily be tailored to a PG environment, so we give it a rating of F. The game itself is trivia based, so it might not be everyone's thing, but we find that gameplay is easy. We here at Dispatch Games give this game a rating of 25,000 quarks. Enjoy and have fun.
Okay. Joe Games. Yeah, reminding us that there will be a Dispatches game night coming up very soon. All right, let's reach out to Frank Sharp. He's been on this show many a time. Here you are, sir. Hold on. I'm still having a little... Here we go. Let's bring you in.
You got my audio?
There we go.
I'm getting
I got you.
Right. Right on.
There it is.
Hi, Scott.
Hello, Frank. Thank you for taking in with us.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do it. Love your show.
Thank you, sir. Wow. High honor coming from you. So I've known you for a long time, and when we first met, you were a theater major at the University of Georgia, and then when you graduated before me, and then but we both hit separate coasts. You went west, and I went east.
Correct.
And then you went into the armed forces. What made you think to do that?
I had been spinning my wheels out here for a while, and then our mutual friend Tyree Patterson passed away. And when Tyree died, it was an existential event for me, and it threw into question everything that I was doing. And I wanted to change my life, and I wanted to do something of service to other people. And I'd always been interested in the military. I'd always been interested in special operations. And so off I went to the Benning School for Wayward Boys for 4 years.
and then you came out, and where did you wind up in all of that?
What do you mean?
Like what rank? What?
Oh, I served for 4 years and 17 weeks at 3rd Ranger Battalion. And then, I was just a line grunt, line doggy.
And so we just had Memorial Day, and it was a different Memorial Day. How do you generally spend that weekend?
Well, I have to tell you, for me personally, it wasn't significantly different than any other Memorial Day, although I didn't go to an event locally here, because there's always one or another that I can attend. This year it was just my family, and that's actually pretty common. Mm-hmm. I spend a lot of the day quietly. The holiday is a solemn one for me, and I've had a number of friends killed over the course of the last 18 years, and that has forever altered how I view the day.
Was there anything that you did in particular when you were in the service on Memorial Day?
Well, although we were cognizant of what the day meant, it was always a 4-day weekend for us. So
Right.
you didn't catch us around post if we weren't on an alert status.
Right. So there in this regard, I mean, there is this mixture. Like I've always found it an interesting, sort of dichotomy, if you will. Like it is a long weekend, and we know what long weekends mean. And then somehow it's also become this unofficial beginning of summer. And the flyers in the newspaper are advertising inexpensive chicken and burgers and dogs and things. And yet there's this real need also for honoring the fallen, who have been fighting for this country.
Well, and at the end of the day, Scott, the holiday is only about one thing, and that's about the men and women who laid down their lives in service to our country. And that in and of itself is a solemn occasion. And then when you lay over that, for me, the personal connection that I have, I wear a KIA bracelet every day, and the sad fact of the matter is I have a number of them. And that I think plenty of people understand what the day is really about. Mm-hmm. Plenty of people do. Mm-hmm. And they may be at a distance from it actually, but all of them understand what it is. I've had friends who've been killed in service to our country, and I think that we have to honor them, all of them, the ones that we know, the ones that we don't know. But the fact of the matter is that we're the living, and in honoring them on this day, we keep their memory alive, and also we validate their service. Because let's say your thing is you want to have a barbecue and hang out with your friends and drink some beers. Great, do it. I can do that because Bill Brown and all of his brothers and sisters who went before paid the ultimate price, paid in blood, our freedom. And that for me is the alpha and omega, entire holiday.
Understood. Yeah. Did you see any of the, it was all broadcast, all the stations are now broadcasting in this crazy way, a lot of green screen and stuff. Did you see any of the memorial service from the National Mall at all?
I didn't see that, but I did see the ceremonies at the Tomb of the Unknowns, which is always moving to me, and a stark reminder. The Tomb of the Unknowns is a stark reminder of the price of service. Right. And always, it's really funny. The unit that guards the tomb, the old guard, they have a highly specific set of duties, and it is something to behold. And I don't know if you've ever been to the actual Tomb of the Unknowns, but it's phenomenal.
Yeah. We went. My folks, brought all the kids. We did DC a couple times. We were right there in Connecticut. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. My folks, it's good. It's good. You have to go to DC to see this stuff.
Yes.
You have to see Arlington to really be able to put these things into a perspective. All those little flags in a row and representing people. Yeah, it's
and as much as present and as this is for me, it comes to me sometimes in sort of overwhelming ways. Just last year I was in Normandy for the anniversary of the invasion, and I went to the American Cemetery there in Normandy, and it was overwhelming to walk in that that hallowed ground.
Yeah.
And I've been in a lot of national cemeteries, and I have participated in military funerals, and it never fails to move me to my core to be in those places, those solemn places. I use that word a lot today, solemn, but that's the word that expresses it the most for me.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily just sad,
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, there's much to celebrate in the fact that there are these men and women who place their own lives above that. There are things that are more important than their own lives, and it's amazing, really. And I'm grateful. I'm deeply grateful to the men and women who have paid that price.
Yeah. With that price, I mean, we have received a lot. There's a lot to be said for living, in this country, and I just hope that we all can live every day, maybe not with a bracelet, on our wrist, but just with an acknowledgement of in our hearts, if you will, or minds of what those costs are, and what the benefits and what we receive because of it.
A friend of mine suffered truly life-altering wounds in Iraq, and he was in a Humvee that was hit with an IED, and Mike was the only survivor, and he doesn't remember the attack. He remembers being put out with fire extinguishers by other soldiers.
Jeez.
And he will tell you that since that day in 2007, he has lived to honor the lives of the men who died in that attack. And of course, I did not suffer as Mike did, but I understand exactly what he's saying. And believing me, Mike is full of life. And when he smiles, it lights up the room. And I take that as my template, especially, listen, my friend's had over 100 surgeries since that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy, that's another thing. That's you can talk to me about that on Veterans Day.
Okay. Yeah, let's save some for Veterans Day for sure. Absolutely, Frank. Absolutely.
Hey, I will show you something because I just realized this is on my desk.
Oh.
Here's a photograph. I'm getting a lot of glare on that, but that's Bobby and Betty Hadaway. You remember Bobby? He was in charge of the physical plant.
Oh yeah,
at
absolutely.
UGA.
Yes. And isn't he kind of how you got into the whole thing?
Well, he was my first real connection to the special operations, because of course he was a retired Special Forces NCO, and he had started his career in a Ranger company in Korea. Over the course of his career, he was wounded multiple times, and then eventually, of course, he lived because we both knew him. But Bobby died eventually as a result of exposure to Agent Orange, and that if he did not epitomize what we're talking about, which is selfless service, I don't know what does.
Right.
And I always think about him on that day. He did not die in combat, although he would be the first to tell you that a bunch of times he almost did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think about Bobby every single Memorial Day. I think about him all the time. I keep his photograph on my desk, but by the way, he gave me the best advice I got about the Army anybody ever gave me. And it turned out to be the best advice I ever got about life, really. And here's it is. I was about to leave for basic training, and Bobby called me and he said, "Hey, listen, you're going to be fine. Just remember, millions of people have done this. You're going to be fine." And I said, "Okay, Bobby." And he said, "Listen, every time I thought I was about to get killed or something bad was going to happen," and he differentiated between the two, between getting killed and something bad happening. And he said, so every time I thought I was about to get killed or something bad was going to happen, I'd just say to myself, get through the next 10 minutes. The rest of your life is gravy. And he was right. He was right.
There it is.
So there's my words of wisdom for what they're worth on this Memorial Day. Like I said, it's a solemn day for me, a day rich in meaning and personal connection. And I really appreciate you having me on today to talk about it in a sort of feeble way. It's just my opinions.
No, it's wonderful. Thank you very much, Frank. Thanks for just spending the time and talking about something that, it's good for us to hear.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm a fan of the show.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. We're doing it. We're fighting the good fight, Frank.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
Best to Katie.
Thank you. Talk to you. Bye-bye. Frank Sharp, quite a guy. All right. And I want to get, Frank, I hope you're tuning in because I want to get your opinion about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how else to say it, but love bugs.
I miss you so much, Willie Dilly.
I miss you too, Beth.
Oh my god, you guys are so mushy. You know you can do this in a private chat, right?
No, I miss you too, Liv. I'm so excited that my best friend and my boyfriend are in the same place. Kind of.
And me.
Oh yeah, hi Lucas.
I'm just saying you don't see me and Lucas all over each other.
Yeah, right, because even when we're in the same room, we don't do that.
So, what's new with everyone?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, I saw 4 squirrels in the yard today, and one of them...
Stop. I can't do this anymore.
What's wrong?
This.
Cabin fever?
No. Beth, I love you, and I know you love me.
Lucas, not now.
What?
Beth?
We've been Netflix partying behind your backs.
Shut up, Lucas.
Wait.
Seriously, Beth?
No.
What show?
It's not what you think. It was just...
What show?
Outlander.
Oh.
We were supposed to start that together.
I couldn't wait for you, Will.
I can't believe this.
You said we would binge watch together?
Well, I'm going to binge with someone else from now on.
Don't be so upset, Will. It's not like we're not doing the exact same thing.
What?
Will.
That's right.
It was just one meetup in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I just wanted to sell my turnips. Maybe pick some fruit from her trees.
Oh, he picked some fruit, all right.
Ew.
Oh, that's just disgusting.
I'm serious. That's all it was. At first. But then the Nook phone chats got a little hot and heavy.
We snuck away for a little getaway on my private island.
And now we're building a second home in Minecraft.
How could you?
Olivia, you don't even like video games.
It turns out they're a lot more fun with the right person.
That's it. I'm out.
Will, I can't even look at you.
Well, that went great.
Yeah. Hey, Liv. You think when this is all over, we could maybe go on a real date? Like, in person? Liv? Hello? She'll call back.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Taylor. That was a wonderful script written by Taylor Rankin. Olivia, Will, Trey, Rachel, fantastic cast. And of course, when you've got a closer like Sean Vaughn editing your stuff, it's guaranteed to be a winner. That was super fun. Those were some of the first, they weren't Skype, they were Zoom auditions we held and everything. This has been an entirely Zoom affair. It's been a lot of fun. These kids are great to work with. We've got another one in the pipeline, so keep coming back. God, I'm a little tired. My dad called me break of dawn this morning. You know, Dad, I don't know. Dad doesn't sleep that much. Like when we're hanging out, when I'm hanging out up in Evanston, he says, "You want to go to the Y?" I say, "Yeah, okay. What time do you want to go?" He's like, "They open at 5 a.m." Like, okay. Just because they're open at 5 a.m. doesn't mean we have to have the doorbuster special. Anyway, Dad called the break of dawn today. I picked up the phone. I found it. I picked it up. It was still kind of dark. I said, "What's going on, Dad?" He said, "I saw the Frisbee and it was getting bigger. And then it hit me." That was Dad's joke this morning. And then Mom told me a joke too, but the thing about Mom is when she tells a joke, she just laughs the whole time. So she's laughing and laughing. I know there's a joke in there somewhere, but I couldn't tell what it was. Mom, I'm going to call you after the show. I want to hear what that joke is, and maybe we'll go through it on Thursday. Thank you to the cast in Love Bugs. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Kate, for helping out. There's more of that on the way. Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Frank. Wonderful guests tonight. And thank you to all the fallen, the armed forces that do protect our nation. But, also, let's just take a moment here, close our eyes, and just remember all the folks, not only the near 100,000 who have perished in our country, but around the world. More of the folks everywhere. I heard a couple of versions of Taps over the weekend, and it reminded me something that we learned in Boy Scouts. I think when Taps was created, it was created for the bugle, so there weren't any words per se, but somewhere along the line, someone put some words, and they go something like this. Day is done. Gone the sun from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky. All is well. Safely rest. God is nigh. Fading light dims the night, and a star gems the sky, gleaming bright. Darkness from afar, drawing near, falls the night. Thanks and praise for our days, 'neath the sun, 'neath the stars, 'neath the sky. As we go, this we know, God is nigh. Hunker, hug, haven. We'll see you on Thursday.
Want and designate one person to keep score. To the family that moved down to Florida.